James and the Lakers. First time LeBron's ever been knocked out in the first round after being 14-0. 113-100 is the final score. The Suns lead by as many as 29 and do not trail for even 1 second in this one and knock out the Lakers in 6. So Shaq, LeBron, Anthony Davis gave it a shot, didn't work. Lakers got stomped and it's over. What did you think of Anthony Davis giving it a shot tonight?
He was clearly in pain when the game first started. Didn't really have much to give. And, when you have a groin, you can't go forward, you can't go backward, you can't go lateral. Any slight movement will re-injure him.
Well, basically, you can't move him. How does he play in an NBA game?
He wasn't there today, and everybody understood that if AD wasn't there, the Lakers would have a tough time because in the 2 wins that they have, AD was doing the most of the scoring. I think averaging 30 points. So if he's not at 80, 75, or even 50%, right now he's about 35%. The Lakers don't have a shot. They played hard tonight, but Suns just came out, especially Devin Booker. Devin Booker put it on his shoulders, especially in the first half, and said, you know what? Y'all ain't coming back to Phoenix, and it's time for us to play Denver.
Do you give him credit for at least trying to play in the game?
Yes, but I can't believe the doctors put him out there. He should not even try. Ernie, me and Kenny watching this. Let's watch Anthony Davis. You saw right from jump ball. I don't even know how they saw something in warm up to make him think he could play. But listen, he's a terrific kid. He's a hell of a player. But there's no way he should have been out there. But I will say this: they're going to have to sit him down this summer and say, "Yo, man, is something going on with your training?" Because Ernie and Shaq and Kenny know this. You should never be hurt early in your career. I always told people, from 22 to 32, you're Superman, and then obviously age and all the games take their toll. For him to always be hurt, he's doing something wrong. And at this stage of LeBron's career, Anthony Davis is going to have to be the best player on that team if they're ever going to be good again. LeBron, at some point, and age is starting to catch up with him too. There's no that he's going to just keep playing great for eternity. It's not going to happen. But at this stage of Anthony Davis' career, he should be the best player on that team. So they're going to have to sit him down and say, yo, man, what are you doing not getting yourself? Because you should not be hurt. Because he's still a young kid, really. So he should be bulletproof at his age.
Let's listen to Frank Vogel, the Lakers head coach.
How your thoughts on AD starting the game, clearly struggling movement-wise, and what you were seeing with how that played out in the first quarter?
Yeah, obviously he's a warrior. He tried to get out there and play through what was going to be. We knew it was going to be difficult for him to be able to move. He did everything he could from a treatment standpoint to loosen it up, and was hoping that some in-game adrenaline would also help with it. But certainly wasn't moving well at all to start the game, and then went down, grabbing it at that one point early in the first.
Phoenix obviously got off to that big lead. Frank, how much of that did you see in terms of the personnel changes and the system changes you had to make without AD, and how did you deal with that throughout the rest of the quarter?
Well, yeah, credit to Suns, right? They came out and made, I think, their first 7 threes or 6 out of 7 threes or something like that. Crowder made 3. Booker was red hot to start the game. Obviously just put us in a deficit, and it was too much for us to overcome.
Let's take it from there. Credit the Suns. Let's talk about the Phoenix performance here and going into L.A. and taking care of business.
Did exactly what they're supposed to do. They attacked the basket. Devin Booker attacked, he hit 6 threes, but he also got to the rim. He shot the in-between shot, which it was just an aggressive nature. When I say aggressive nature, it was, the saying that the ball finds energy. And he had a lot of energy, and the ball was finding him because he was trying to make things happen. Then there's guys who come out in these scenarios that they let the game come to them. They kind of see it. He said, no, not tonight.
Tonight is going to be the night where I'm going to shoulder the burden offensively and say, if this is going to happen, it's going to happen through me.
Not only that, Ernie, last year in the bubble was when they really gelled. At the beginning of the year, nobody picked Phoenix. Nobody even mentioned Phoenix, but they knew something that we didn't know. They knew that, okay, what we were doing last year in the bubble, it works. Now we get a full season, we get all our guys together, and they've been 1-2 all year. So,
and you add Chris Paul to that mix that's already beginning to gel.
As my good friend Charles Barkley said, the greatest leader in basketball, and he's really taking advantage of this moment, because this may be his last chance. I know he's trying to get another 2-year deal, but he got the guys playing well, and Book early in this series was deferring to him, but somebody must have gotten his ear. I think Charles said on the radio, I need Book to come out super aggressive, and Book just took this game over.
Let's hear from Monty Williams now, the Suns head coach.
Wanted to ask just obviously about Booker. You talked before about him, hey, take the first shot available. It looked like he was dialed into that and more. We'll just think of that the first half he had.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those deals where he was feeling it, but our guys understood that he was feeling it, and so we got a number of stops in the first quarter. I mean, they only scored 14 points, so we were getting out and running. And we had a conversation after game 2, I think, or game 3. It was game 3, I think, about their defense is so good and they shift to the ball so well. He's not gonna get another look after the first one presents itself, and so that was the mentality that we wanted him to have, and he's a gifted scorer, but it was the shot making and then the stops on top of that probably deflated them a little bit in the first half, but it was an impressive first half. I'm not quite sure how many points he had in the first half, maybe 33 or something like that. But it was a special night for him, and to do that in a closeout game is really cool. And so I was happy for him, happy for our team, and certainly happy to be moving on.
All right, Monty Williams, after that 113-100 win, what can you say speaking to the confidence level of this Phoenix team now?
Well, anytime you have Chris Paul, you're going to feel confident. And listen, I want to say 2 things. Number one, Devin Booker, he took a big step, because now he's like, okay, I'm an all-star. Now you get a chance to show everybody right now, because there's nothing left but the good teams. Same thing with Trae Young. You hit the nail on the head earlier. Because they ask me in Atlanta every week, what about Trae Young? He's not getting credit. I said, because he's never made the playoffs. But now not only has he made the playoffs, he won a series. That's when you start getting credit. So those 2 guys they're getting these young kids, they say flowers now. But I want to say something about, because, living in Phoenix, I'm beat over the head about DeAndre Ayton. I was so proud of that kid this series. He played great this entire series. You always want to see good players break through and become consistent. But man, Trae, Devin, and DeAndre Ayton, I'm not gonna say Ayton's on those other 2 levels yet, but they were telling, like, how's he gonna do against Anthony Davis? And obviously Anthony Davis was, but the game 1 was, to me, I told you, game 1 was the most important game of this series. Then because they lost the next 2, but game 1 they set the tone. But man, I'm happy for my city, and my dream of my poverty. I'm back to poverty. With my Blazers too.
Well, we'll get to that in just a minute. But Devin Booker had 47 points in this game, and where does that rank in playoff performances? Point totals against the Lakers in the postseason. Sleepy had 51. AI 48. Devin Booker 3rd on that list. Then you got Hondo and Zeke.
Sleepy Floyd, a good dude from the past.
Yes, indeed. Sleep!
Isaiah Thomas, the greatest little man ever, probably.
When we come back, Game 6 in Portland. Denver outscored them 47-22. And with that, they advance to the Western Conference semifinals. 126-115 the final. 14th win for Denver when they trail going to the fourth quarter. They're 14-19 in that department. Points in the paint for Denver, 50-38, fast break. 18-10, second chance points, 19-8, bench, 34-25. A lot of numbers in the Nuggets' favor, including that final score. And now, some post-game yakety yak.
It wasn't about weathering their storm. It was about us being the storm. It was us bringing it from the get-go. And even when things weren't going our way and it looked a little bleak, staying with it, staying connected, staying positive, and that allows you to come out of it on the other side. So what it says about our team is that we understand when we play a certain way, a certain style of basketball, we're a really tough team to beat.
My job security, I'm under contract for 2 more years. I'm sure, just like at the end of every year, we're all evaluated. Players, coaches, management, we're all evaluated. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, at the end of a season when you lose, everybody's evaluated.
I mean, we didn't win the championship, so obviously where we are now isn't good enough. I don't know what a shakeup looks like or what changes will be made or could be made. But obviously, as is, it wasn't good enough. Obviously, where we are isn't good enough to win the championship if it's not good enough for us to get out of a first-round series.
Nurk, do you want to be back next year? Like, do you want to be back on this team next season?
In the right situation, yes.
What is the right situation?
We'll see. I don't know yet, because this is not it.
Yeah.
You got it right, Spanky.
Hey.
Well, that is Spanky from the Little Rascals.
You're right, Damon.
Spanky.
Never go to Vegas with Charles
Yes.
Barkley.
Hey,
I
man,
don't know.
Hey, let's play the roulette rule. You got a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
No,
He
you
broke too, baby.
Hey, listen, man. I felt good about my bet. Sucker.
Yeah, that was a definitely soft.
Yeah, before we talk to him, why don't we
bet.com.
let's wrap up Portland's season as they fall 126-115 at home in Game 6 and are knocked out in the first round. And after a 42-30 regular season, you see Melo, Cantor, Powell, free agents, and Dame and CJ knocked out in the first round. Kenny?
Well, you know, it's interesting that the first thing that you hear is, you know, job security, shakeups, all of those things right after a loss. No, you know, they're not going to have that same kind of conversation with the Lakers, other things. But Portland has plateaued, it seems like. You have 3 or 4 years where you're kind of hitting the same spot. They did get to the
They got the Western Conference Finals a couple
years ago.
And they got swept.
And yeah, got swept. But then they really haven't changed the dynamic of what they're doing. For me, again, I think that it is some personnel issues. You have a lot of guys that, you know, that do great things on the offensive end, but then those little things that are big, as Shaq says, those others win you championships. You know, those others allow you to be the big dog and flourish. You see LeBron James today. You know, just having guys that can complement and give you space, give you opportunity, and give you freedom to be the best one-on-one player. I always say, as the great, blessed soul Kobe Bryant had the luxury of playing with Shaq and never get double-teamed. Like, he's the best one-on-one player in the world, Kobe Bryant was. And when he played with Shaq, he never got double-teamed. That's freedom. And then you put Rick Fox, you put Rob Horry, who are spacers, he could never be double-teamed. And so he has a freedom. Dame Lillard gets freedom occasionally, but then defensively, Chuck,
Yeah.
they
They're awful.
I don't know if it's Zach Collins as well, another guy who
You know I love Zach Collins.
Yeah, but they just don't have enough defensively defensive deterrence. You don't have to be stoppers, but you have to be a deterrent.
Yeah, they're good enough offensively. They're awful defensively, and the coach has to take some responsibility for that because he's not demanding it. If people tell you you're bad all the time, your coach got to say, no, we got to get better defensively. And if you can't be bad every year, but also I compare them to the Milwaukee Bucks. I said it earlier. The Milwaukee Bucks says we're not standing pat. We're not good enough to win. They went out and got some dogs. Drew Holiday, Bobby Portis, and P.J. Tucker. Ernie, you have to have those guys. Those are three of the toughest, best defenders in the NBA who I just mentioned. And they don't have any of those guys. They are great on offense. They're awful on defense, and they're better. You should not have the best guard combination. Obviously, Clay's out. Him and Steph they're the best. But you should not have the best guards in the NBA and lose all the time.
Fourth time in the last 5 appearances knocked out in the first round. Anything more on Portland, or do you want to talk Denver?
It might be, let's talk Denver. But just one last thing on Portland. It might be time to do something else. Can you make a great point at Plateau? Doing the same thing for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Might be time to do something different. Denver, I like the way they're playing. I like the way Michael Porter Jr. is playing. Jokic is my MVP right now. I like the fact that when they're down, you never see panic on his face. When he gets in foul trouble, you never see panic on his face. And they trust each other. That everybody's playing well. The others are playing well. Jokic is playing great. Denver is looking very good. This next series is going to be very
it's interesting, Shaq, you said about the MVP, because the reason he's the MVP is what's happening tonight. It is what he does, but he's available. And Embiid is hurt. So if Embiid never gets hurt, he probably wins the award. But the fact that Jokic always has been there, and it's
34.
just right. He gets this, and he's getting those astronomical numbers. Then you have to say he's available. It has nothing to do with anything else but availability between the two of those guys winning the MVP award.
27 of his 36 points in the second half tonight. Now you got Phoenix and Denver in the next round. Chuck, what's your early take?
What are they starting at?
Phoenix has.
Phoenix got the home court. Man, I don't know, Ernie, right now. I have to.
Come on, you get paid to answer right
hit
now.
Hit that button.
You know, I
get paid to answer right now.
My heart's always gonna say my Suns.
All right, who's gonna win game 1?
I think Denver's gonna win the series. I do. I think Denver's gonna win the series.
Wow.
I do. I hate to pick against my Suns. If you ask me right now, and listen, our job is to be honest. We're not here to make friends. Our job is to be honest. I think Denver's gonna win that series.
Kenny?
Oh, man. This is
we get paid to make the choice.
This is an even series. I would say the difference
is
going to
question,
be.
Man.
Answer the question. You just yelled at me and told me to answer the question.
You took your time. Can I take mine too?
Phoenix in 6, Ernie.
Phoenix, thank you very much.
Jeez, answer the question. I don't care what you think. Who's going to win the series?
I can't give you numbers like 6 and 5 and 4.
Well, who's going to win the series?
My thing is also tell you why.
Kenny.
The people.
Kenny.
I know, but it has to be during this show.
Hey, Kenny.
I'm going to. I would have said it if y'all had let me talk by now, but I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns.
Thank you.
Chuck's got Denver. Chuck, you got Denver.
I think Ayton will pose a different problem on the defensive end, where Joker will only be perimeter. He won't be perimeter, and he won't, and at the same time interior. He would only have one advantage.
Glad we waited for that explanation. Going on the board.
You want to bet $100,000? I mean, somebody's out there might want to
Kenny's
bet $100,000.
got the Suns in no particular number of games, and Chuck has Denver in. You want to pick a number? No, he doesn't. All right.
Numbers now.
When I ask Chuck for $5 next week,
Adam left.
Adam left. I got you, Adam. I miss you, brother. I hope you're still
that's a clip from Ozark, man. That's a great show.
What is that, armadillo? I didn't know they did.
It'd be nice to be able to do that.
They do that.
That's how he rolls. Still to come. Looking ahead to the Bucks and the Nets.
Seconds, 24 seconds, or someone will play great individual defense, and KD or Kyrie would hit a tough shot. You know, that's what they do.
We're going to try to throw things at them to see what works. Game 1 might be me. Game 2 might be Chris. Game 3 might be PJ. We're just going to see how it works. But at the end of the day, right now, we're focusing on ourselves as much as possible. Grades can never get bored. You got to, do it over and over and over again. That's the only way you can not stop them, because there's no way you can stop them. You can just make it as tough as possible for them.
But, we're talking a lot about Giannis, but, they have to stop us too. we got some of the best players, and we have the best players in the world. So it'll be a good matchup. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Mr. Claxton, the reason we're talking a lot about Giannis, he averaged 39 on y'all.
And 10.
It turned out of 10.
Kyrie didn't play in the first meeting. Harden didn't play in the second or third meeting. So Milwaukee's first look at the big three. All right, Shaq.
The big three's first look at Giannis, too.
Bucks, Nets.
That's a different dude.
Bucks, Nets. What's your question?
No, go ahead. He's asking how many. Go ahead, give me
who you
thesis.
got and how
Don't give
many?
a thesis because you think it.
Yeah.
You know it's a tough
Who you got
This
and
is
how
tough.
many?
Come on now.
Brooklyn in 7.
Ooh.
Nets in 7.
Let's go in 7.
I'm going to go to Charles next so you can keep thinking.
Yeah, let me
so
think.
you'll be ready for an answer. Chuckster.
Why? Can I ask? Can he ask why? I want to.
Kenny, stop interrupting.
Hey, listen, man, we got stuff to do. Shut the hell up.
Hey, we got a whole
know
series.
why he feels that.
Hey, we got a whole series to discuss that. We just want your gut level reaction right now. Who you got? Bucks and Nets.
I got the Bucks in 6.
Bucks in 6. And Kenny.
I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Bucks.
And what?
I don't have a number.
Oh, come on.
I don't have a number of games.
Come on.
I don't have a number of games.
All right. This one goes on the board as well, and I've got the Bucks in 9. Here we go. It's going to be that good a series. They're going to extend it to a best of 9. There you go. More tweets? Good. Hurry up and say what you think who will win between the Nuggets and the
It's been 84 years.
And 84.
Putting that poor lady to sleep, Kenny.
Yeah. More Spanky. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, look, man. Y'all don't just pay me to say it. I'm supposed to analyze.
Yeah.
I'm an analyst. I'm not a picker.
Hey,
I'm not
don't
a
nobody
picker.
want to hear no
I'm an
analyzation
analyst.
at 2:15.
I'm not a picker.
I'm not a picker. I'm an analyst. That's cool. As you look back at that video.
No, I was just remembering. It was.
Who are you pointing to?
Sharif, because he was 2 at the time, and he said, "Daddy, win." I didn't even know he could talk. No, sure. He's like,
How would he be? You knew he could talk.
because
Your son could talk. You lived in the house with him. You knew your son could talk.
Wait, was he at the game?
Listen.
Come on.
Was he at the game?
Can I finish?
No.
Let me finish.
You just trying to make a real great story that wasn't. Then you just realize how crazy that sounds.
Listen.
I'm just trying to go down memory lane with you on that play.
No,
I
but listen, Ernie.
didn't even know he could talk.
As you know, when I come in the house, I'm real playful with the kids. So it's, we just, so like, right before the game, it was like, he just came and grabbed me. He was like, "Daddy, win for me." And it was like, you speaking sentences? Like, I didn't know, like, he spoke in sentences.
So his first words, sentence, first sentence was, "Daddy, win for me."
So anyway.
That's a liar.
I don't know that I'm buying any of this. Story.
Is that what I said, Kenny?
Yeah, that's what you said.
I said his first words was that. Put words in my mouth again. That's not what I said.
You never heard him speak.
Hold on. Say it again.
Wait, you just said you never heard him speak.
I never heard him speak in perfect sentences.
Right, so that's his first sentence.
His first sentence. First sentence.
Daddy, win for me. If I need a new car.
Sharif, text me.
By the way,
back me up, Sharif.
Don't be casting yet. We're not fishing yet.
Sharif, back me up, Sharif.
Lakers season comes to an end after having to go through the play-in tournament to get there, and they are knocked out in 6 games by the Phoenix Suns. And Anthony Davis post-game.
Hey, Anthony, it was pretty obvious how much the groin was hampering you early. Could you just take us through what it felt like and what was your mindset and how you were trying to figure out if you were going to be able to stay and do anything on either end?
Just wanted to be out there for the team, in a situation when to go home. Obviously didn't want to just lay down and not be able to do what I can. It never really felt good, but like I say, I once God just the competitive nature and me to go out and help the team as best as I could. My body didn't agree, so team fought. We fought. Made runs, guys left it all on the floor tonight, and we get ready for next year. We get ready to have a full off season. Everyone held up, especially the guys that say you heard a lot this year. Heal your bodies, rest your bodies, and get ready for next season. That's all we can do. That's what I'm going to do. Let the body heal and get right back to it.
And so now, I actually did not think, I didn't know if we would send anybody fishing tonight, given the 2 games that we had. But as it turns out, we are.
Yep.
And
Dad,
back here inside
Win
our
one for me, Dad.
our palatial boathouse.
Hey, win one for me, Daddy.
Win one for me, Dad. Win one before you leave the house. Win one for me.
I promise you.
Dada, goo. Hey, who you got in the next
Making
round?
bets, baby.
What's the next matchup? Anyway,
Hey,
let's.
so that still doesn't explain why you were pointing.
Because he was a baby and he was up in the suites. 'Cause I didn't
I don't. You were
He's a
pointing up
baby,
in the
he's only
suite?
2.
Okay.
And I didn't want him in the crowd.
I did hear the story that you were pointing to him. I just wanted to clarify.
All right. Sending the Blazers fishing first. Is that?
Yes.
Is that how we're doing this?
I hope when I throw this hook, Chuck, it'll hook you right in your
Okay, man, you're going to get on TV and lie about your kids. Don't be mad at me.
Oh, the Blazers! Oh my God, it was such a good day out there, Ernie.
Yeah.
CD, I had Clyde Drexler out there. We got the super fan. It was, I don't know.
We got Caitlin Olsen.
Caitlin
from
Olsen.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Portland 10, man.
Yeah,
Trying to sneak
really tan. Portland Ken is there, of course. So is Blazers super fan Damian Tomchik.
in. Who's that guy on the left, Ernie? With the glasses that look like TK.
Here's Damian.
Oh,
We ain't going nowhere. Blazers in 7.
Yeah,
But save me a
thanks to
spot on the boat
Damon,
just in case.
Yeah, Damon, that didn't work out for me either.
Yeah. But it wasn't as
Yeah,
costly.
zero.
It
Zero
wasn't
was
as
the amount of
costly
games.
to Damian as it was for you.
0 was the amount of games you won after tonight.
Is that TK on the left?
No.
No, it is. There you go. I think we've seen all we need to see from that one. All right. Shall we move on?
Let's go. Let's go to La La, baby.
Yeah.
Pacific Ocean.
Oh my goodness.
Shannon Sharp, there he is.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
Shannon
like
Sharp.
that, Matt Barnes.
Oh my gosh. We got
O'Shea
Trey-
Jackson.
O'Shea Jackson.
Yeah. You got Billie Eilish in there.
Oh, man.
You got Leonardo
You had to have
DiCaprio, Larry David.
Larry David and a Speedo, huh? There you go.
Definitely had to have Snoop.
Mila Kunis is in there, and Leo,
Keanu Reeves
Will
is back.
Ferrell, Snoop, yeah. Lakers super fan Emil Nate is the fan fishing winner.
Well, clearly
Hoping this one
it did inspire
inspires the
Emil. It didn't inspire anybody.
No. It is a rather uninspiring photo, however, but congratulations on getting on the boat.
Well, he had the Kobe jersey on. So I think-
Yeah, shout out.
Who is that? Is that Ashton Kutcher way back there? Who's the guy in the wheelchair? Is that from the movie?
That would be Skip Bayless if I ever got him in a room by myself.
That's
If I ever get Skip Bayless alone, that's what he's gonna need, a full body cast.
All right, that's fishing, but LeBron James has sat down at the podium. Let's listen in.
Hey, LeBron, if we could just zoom out and put this year and kind of last year into context and what this journey was like and sort of how tonight was a culmination of how this season went, if you agree with that.
I mean, pretty much, it's kind of hard to start thinking about, like, when we got started, the season started so fast after leaving the bubble, obviously. And I think I was talking to Wes in the locker room just a few minutes ago, and I said the one thing that bothers me more than anything, we never really got an opportunity to see our full team at full strength, either because of injury or COVID or something going on with our ball club this year. We could never fully get into a rhythm and never really kind of see the full potential of what we're capable of. And but all in all, I give my hats off to everyone on this team who showed up every day to work, showed up every day to compete, showed up every day to put in the time and effort, and obviously fell short of our goal. But try to do everything we could to be as good as we could be, as great as we could be under the circumstances. And also also want to, shout out Phoenix too, Monty Williams, Book, and that team. They were excellent throughout this series, all of them. So much respect.
And how did you come through all of this physically, I guess from the ankle injury on, and what can the offseason, having an actual full offseason, do for you at this stage of your career?
Well, it's going to be it's going to work wonders for me, obviously. Obviously during the season, I don't talk about rest. I don't even like to put my mind and frame into that. It makes me weak, but in the off season, I got an opportunity to rest. I got like 3 months to recalibrate, get my ankle back to 100% where it was before that Atlanta game. And, that's the most important thing for me. Everything else feels extremely well. My ankle was the only thing that was kind of bothering me. Well, obviously bothered me in the later stage of the season, and never fully got back to before the injury. But happy I was able to just go out there and at least try to help our team win.
Daddy pass check the ball so we can win for me. Rick Fox weighing in.
That's right, Rick was there. Thank you, pretty Ricky.
Man, I did some math. Sharif was 5 months old.
Look at that.
when that game was there. I did some math. He was 5 months old
right there.
Sharif was 5 months old when that game was there. I just did some math.
We are coming back with one more segment here on Inside the NBA, presented by Kia. Please, I'm asking you to stick around.
Thanks, David.